Hello, let's generate the curve in this quick section. So we have the entire infrastructure set up, and all we are going to do is we are going to modify the generate function here. This is our sixth exploration. So this is init 3d006 that we will modify. The last time we modified 005, I think so. Anyway, all right, moving on. So you'll find all the code in the GitHub repository, so nothing to be Okay, so what we need to do here is, let's see, we want to create a curve along the y-axis. Uh, so let's say let curve points be equal to this. Because what we will do is we'll collect all the points along the y-axis, which is the second loop. That's why we place the array above the second loop. Okay, so we have the curve points there, and what we need to do is we need to generate a 3D vector structure from there. So say that, let's say let p, which is a point, be equal to 3 dot vector 3. So we need to do it because we'll use three.js function to generate the curve, which means that it will need to do internal calculations. That's why we need to use a three.js vector 3 function here. We can't just use an array. So 3 dot vector 3, and it will have I, j, and z for the x, y, and the z components of the vector. With that, we can add it to our curve points array. Okay, now from here, curve points, once we have this, okay, so once we have this, then we can directly generate the curve here outside the while loop, and then we add it to the mesh array. That should automatically generate the curve for us. So to generate the curve, we have to give the command uh, c is equal to new 3 dot cat rom curve 3, and it will be a array. The argument is the array of curve points. Okay, then we can add our material as usual. Mesh, we'll use a mesh form material, and we can set the color to say blue. Okay, so new color, so we are setting it to dark blue, and then we can generate the mesh by saying variable mesh is equal to 3 dot mesh with the parameters of curve and material. So curve, geometry, and material. Oh, actually, this is the curve. This is not the geometry. So we have to generate the geometry. So we can say geometry is equal to, we can do a tube geometry here. Tube geometry that will have the path. So the path is C, and after that, number of segments, let's just make it 200. Then the radius can be 1. No, 1 is too much. 0.1. And radius segments can be 12 at the most, I think. Yeah, 12 is good. And closed, no, we don't want it to be closed. Okay, so we have all the options. We've completed all the options, so it cannot, okay, it cannot generate the curve. C is not defined, so it generates the mesh. We had C there in the, while trying to generate the mesh, we use C. It should be geometry. That's why it was giving us the error. Okay, then we just have to add it to the mesh array. or push it to the mesh array. And if I hit Control S, it will generate the curve. So I did. Okay, so we have that. Uh, Looks nice. Now looks like a bridge. So many bridges. Actually, what I want to do right now is I want to change the max. Let's make it 100, 100, 100. Okay, nice. So now you can see that it's having a performance. My computer is taking a performance set. So I'm sitting on a 32 GB RAM computer and it's taking a hit. Okay, I want to only see the curve. So for that, we can actually switch off the mesh from the extrusion mesh. Let's switch that off. So that won't get added. So now we're seeing only the curve. Oh, looks nice. Okay, so there we go. All right, so next time we'll look at generating mesh directly from points and edges. We generate the faces from there, and after that we'll look at selecting objects with a mouse click. That's a complex one. All right, see you next time.